Hi, Keep It Crazy family. So today we are doing a Q&A with Kylie, and I cannot wait, or I'm kind of nervous about how she's going to answer some of these questions. Are you ready for this?
I think I'm ready. I feel like I'm on the hot seat.
You are. I feel a little nervous because I don't know what you're going to say, and I tried to go through and just pick the hardest questions.
Oh, thanks.
Well, ones that you would think that there's no way she would answer, I tried to pick those ones because she's telling me she's open to answering any.
Yeah.
So real quick, we did put a picture of her on Instagram, and thank you everyone who sent out all your questions. There were so many.
So many good questions.
So many.
Yeah.
I mean, I did get a little in trouble because the picture that I put up on Instagram, it's my favorite picture of her. I think she just looks hot.
No!
It's so cute.
It's me 5 years ago.
And so she called me and was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I was like, come on. I'm old now. I don't look like that.
You do. She's beautiful.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready. Let's do it.
Okay, the first question is really kind of spilling the tea.
Oh my
So
gosh,
right up front. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Did you ever live with your dad, or did you live with Shelly till you were old enough to move out?
Oh my gosh.
So wait,
that's
real
a good
quick,
one.
it is a good one.
Yeah.
So backstory is Kylie has a different dad than Jared.
Yeah.
I was married to her dad for 12 years.
Yeah, like 12. Yeah.
I think it was 12 years
12
before
years.
we divorced.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. So I feel like a lot of people thought Jared was your dad, but no.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes, I did. Well, I lived. What was the question?
It was, did you ever live with your dad, or did you live
okay.
with Shelly?
Okay, I did live with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So once they got divorced, I lived with her. And then there was a period of time where I wanted to live with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And both of you were just super open to me living with either of them.
Yeah.
You know, it was
we
totally...
didn't ever want you to feel pulled or pushed in any way.
Yeah.
You just wanted to, whatever you wanted to do, we were okay with.
Yeah.
We were that way with holidays.
Yeah, with holiday, same thing. Like if I wanted to spend holidays with my dad, you were okay with that. If I wanted to spend it with you, he was okay with that. You guys were totally... There's no tea. It was so civil.
It really was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because I feel like her dad is just such an awesome person. I have so much respect for him. And I just felt, I mean, there wasn't like this awful divorce or it was hard. It was nothing like that.
No.
Nothing like that. So I'm glad that we were able to,
Yeah. So I did live with both of them.
Yeah.
Up until I moved out.
Yeah. Back and forth.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's see. Okay, you ready for this one?
Oh my gosh.
What was it like as an older child getting new siblings? Okay, so real quick. It was kind of weird, I think, and even weird for Jared, because there were lots of times that a caseworker would call me and be like, hey, these kids are headed to the shelter unless you have a spot for them or something like that.
Right.
So I would be like, absolutely. And so Jared wouldn't be home, you wouldn't be home.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everyone would come home and I'd be like, so you have a new sister or a sibling group. You have two sisters and a new brother. So it was a little bit strange, probably different.
It was different, but you know what though? Like, I guess it wasn't different to me because because we already had landed.
Yes.
Like, I think if I was an only child and then we started having a bunch of, like I had a bunch of siblings, like we had Landon already. So like I was already used to having a sibling. And I feel like once you have a sibling, you have siblings.
Well, and it wasn't like, okay, you're an only child and then bam, here's 20 siblings.
No, it was years.
It was years of we would add a child or two.
Yes.
And it was just this, all of a sudden, this easy thing. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh wow, I have a lot of kids.
Yeah, but it never felt weird because it always felt right.
Yeah.
So it never was weird.
I love that.
Yeah, it just, it's the best. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite house decoration theme, like fall, Christmas, Easter? Love your positive energy, by the way.
Oh, that's sweet. That's so sweet. I do have a favorite. It'd probably be fall, but I love Christmas. As soon as the Christmas stuff starts coming out in the stores, I am like, woo, we're doing Christmas. I'm so here for it.
We have already started Christmas shopping.
We may have already. I don't know what to tell you.
The other night, she made us drive around store to store to see if they had their Christmas out yet.
Yeah, I'm like, who has it? Like, we're ready.
We did find some. So, okay. Ooh, this is the main question that I think was like, I don't even know, like 80% of the questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. When do you plan on having kids, or do you want kids?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't plan on having kids. Yeah, Mark and I don't. You know, it's weird because, you know, it's not that I don't like kids. When I say I don't plan on having kids, people just assume.
Oh, you don't like kids.
Oh, you don't like kids.
You probably don't like your family.
No, it's like so not like that. I enjoy kids. I love kids. Mark and I both, it's weird. I never felt like, even as a teenager, like
ever.
It was never like a goal of mine. Some people have a goal to like, you know,
get married,
have kids. Like that's the goal. And that was never my goal.
No.
So
I remember you at like 8 years old, you know, saying something about it. Just like that, I don't ever see myself having kids. I was like, oh, whatever, you'll grow out of it.
No,
she never did.
And then when I met Mark, that was one thing like up front that I was so clear with him about. I said, you know, I want you to know I don't really see myself having kids. And he was like, well, neither do I. And so, yeah, I don't know, match made in heaven.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. But what happens if like you did get pregnant or something?
Oh, we would be over the moon. We would be so happy. And you know what? It's funny because Mark is so good with kids.
So good. So
pretty much the first thing that people say when they see Mark with kids is like, why don't you have kids with that man? And I'm like, we just both don't.
I think that you're both good with kids. Yeah, you really are. That's not a plan, and that doesn't have to be everybody's plan.
But if it happened, we'd be over the moon. Yeah, like so excited.
Until then, we have dogs.
Yes, we have
dogs.
We got our fur babies.
Yes. Okay. What has been your best advice, and who told you this? So out of all the advice you've ever gotten, what's the best advice?
Okay, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
I think I'm probably gonna say my best advice has been from my Grammy.
Okay.
And she told me when I was probably very younger to even understand what this meant.
Okay.
But she told me that a thought brought it and a thought can change it. And so, you know,
what does that mean?
It means like, you know, you have every thought that's in your mind is a thought. You thought it. And so if you've got negative thoughts, you can also change to have positive thoughts.
Ooh,
so you can change,
deep.
change your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. You know, they're just thoughts.
Yes.
So you can always change your thoughts. So
I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that. She gives the best advice.
She does give the best advice.
My best advice is actually from her too.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so she used to say there's enough love for everyone. And I know I've talked about this before.
That's so true.
And I didn't quite understand it when she, you know, said it to me, and I was probably like 15 at the time. And she said there's enough love for everybody. So as I took in foster kids and they wanted to have relationships, they wanted to have relationships with their parents or grandparents or anything, I think if I wouldn't have had that advice, I would have been like, oh no, but they're my kids, I don't want to share, or you know what I mean? Because you would feel like if they love their grandma or whatever, or their mom, they're not going to love me, or that kind of thought. No, that is not how I feel because of that advice. There is enough love
to go around
for everybody. They can love their mom, they can love their grandma, they can love me, they can love everybody. Just because they love someone doesn't take away the love that they have for you.
I love that.
Anyway, sorry, this is your Q&A, not mine.
It.
Okay, what is your relationship like with your biological dad?
Oh, it's the best.
They have a great relationship.
We have an awesome relationship. Yeah, we're best buds. We're twins. We love each other. Yeah, it's so good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know. She was hanging out with him. This was like a couple of weeks ago. And I called her for a quick question. And he got on. We were FaceTiming. He on the phone. He's like, this is my time with her. He was totally joking. So stop.
I love
That's
it.
cute.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a lot of questions.
Okay.
So, okay. What were your thoughts when your mom married Jared? How did you feel when Landon was born? And what made you start wanting to be on camera?
Woo! Love it. No.
But I thought those were 3 good questions.
That is really good questions.
Okay, let's start with the first one,
okay.
which is what were your thoughts when your mom married Jared?
I love that. Okay,
Go ahead.
So when she started dating Jared, she was actually dating another guy at the same time.
Oh, we're going way back.
Yeah, we're going back. But it was casual. You know, it was so casual.
So I was dating one guy and then I started dating
Jared.
Yeah. So I was dating kind of both of them at once.
Yeah, and so she introduced me to the first guy and I'm like, okay. Then she introduced me to Jared. And then she asked me, which guy do you think I should continue with?
So let me just like back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So the first guy that I was dating,
He was rich.
had a lot of money,
Yeah.
and he was nice.
He was
very nice.
He was
and,
nice.
Yeah, and so when I asked her, I said, "Well, okay, you've met both guys. What do
Yeah.
you think?" And I thought for sure that she was gonna pick. You know,
Other
because
guy.
she was kind of spoiled, so I really thought she was gonna pick like the rich guy. And
I was like, no, hands down, Jared, hands down, and solely because she was 100% herself with him.
yeah, oh, that's true.
So yourself,
So
yeah.
myself
And with the other
with
guy,
him.
I was like, he's boring. But you were so yourself with Jared, and I felt like him and I already had like such good chemistry just from right off the bat. And he's so wonderful. So
He is.
it was the best.
So when she said that, then I immediately stopped dating the other guy and only dated Jared.
yeah, so I picked Jared. You're welcome.
Jared. Okay. And how did you feel when Landon was born? I think this is kind of a weird question
It
because
is a weird question.
like how did you, because it could mean so many different things. So like how did you feel because you were an only child and now you're not?
Yeah.
Because technically she still is an only child
I am.
on her dad's side. So
Right.
you have like 20 siblings on one side and then she's
I'm
the only child.
Yeah, so I've got a split life. So
when Landon was born and that made you not the only child on our side, how did that make you feel?
I mean, it was wonderful. You know, I'd never had a sibling. So I mean, it was wonderful, and I thought it was so fun. And at first, I was like, this is kind of going to be different. But then I think once we found out that it was going to be a boy, I feel like when you find out the gender, it really like solidifies the greatness. That's so
you have a
amazing
brother.
that I have a brother.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I thought it was just so cool.
And
Yeah.
I was wondering how it would be on my side that she was like 12 when Landon was born, 13.
Right. And so
when Landon
you're
was
going
born.
into those teenage years.
Yes, and I went, well, I just didn't know because you'd never been around a baby, like how that
Right.
was going to be. But Kylie was so great.
Aw.
Like you were just, I don't know. She was just so great. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. I mean, at first she was like, okay. Like,
I know, because
the
I'm like,
pillow, she was kind of like, I would hand Landon to her and she'd be like,
yeah. Well, and I know, but to be fair, like
she never held the baby.
I never
she
really-
didn't know how. And so I had to like
Yeah.
teach her, like, you have to like cradle the baby.
Yeah.
Don't just hold the baby out.
because really my whole life, like, you know, you being married to my dad, everyone was older than me. Like
She was raised around
the
adults
baby.
only.
Yeah, adults only. So I never really experienced that, and so I'm grateful, you know, that I was able to experience that because.
And you're a good big sister.
Oh.
What made you start wanting to be on camera? And I think we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think I just wanted to, you know, really like, I just wanted to kind of, you know,
Step out of
my comfort zone a bit. You know, I feel like I'm doing a lot of things outside of my comfort zone, and good things come outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you study carpentry or just pick up the hobby?
I just picked up the hobby. That's a good question. Yeah, I just picked it up. I think probably, I want to say some of it's in my blood. A little bit,
yeah.
you know, because my grandpa was super into that. So was my great grandpa.
And you were always around them.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just always been something that she's been a part of.
Yes. I just used to, even as a kid, hang out with my grandpa in his garage while he was doing his projects, and I would write all over his wood. And
you did.
Yeah,
you did.
I spent a lot of time around that, so it was something that actually it really surprises me that I enjoy it as much as I do.
Surprises me.
Because if you would have asked me like when I was a teenager, nah. And I even actually took a career quiz at one point.
Oh yeah.
That asked me like, do you enjoy working with your hands? And I was like, no. No, I do not.
And now look at you.
And now, yeah. So I found a passion that I didn't even know. I didn't even know it existed.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
What else you got?
Kylie, what got you into DIY and what's been your favorite project so far? So I think we've kind of said the DIY part.
Yeah.
So what do you think is your favorite project?
Well, kind of actually what did get me into the whole DIY thing was really when we bought the house that we're currently in. If you guys have seen our channel, we're in a total fixer-upper. And when we bought this house, it was something that I went in so open-minded, about everything. I think I had blinders on, rose-colored glasses, thinking, oh, well, we'll just hire this out. It's gonna be a couple years, no big deal. And then, we finally started realizing the cost of things and how much everything was gonna be. And it just finally was like, you know what, we're just gonna try to do some of this ourselves. And as we got doing that, I really found my love and passion for it. So,
thank goodness, right?
I know, thank goodness. Yeah, I didn't know that getting this house was really gonna
just spark
change
a whole
my
new
life.
thing.
Yeah, a whole thing. But yeah, so it's been really wonderful. I think my favorite project so far has been your mantle.
I know.
Yeah, that's been my favorite project.
We went to just decorate the top of it and it kind of just fell apart.
Yeah.
So she just built a new one.
That was my favorite. Definitely.
I love it. So, okay. Does your mom and Jared pay you for the work you're doing on their house? Just curious, you're doing amazing. I'm loving the videos. Love from the UK.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Do I pay you?
No, you don't pay me.
No.
Free labor.
It's free.
No, but I do have a credit card that I won't get back.
Yes. She had my debit card for a long time and I finally got it back.
She's like, I need my debit card. I'm like, why?
And then it took her 2 weeks and I finally just well, I would have bought this cute thing for you, is what she'd say, but I didn't have your debit card, so I couldn't do it. So finally we just gave her a credit card.
Yeah, so no, they don't pay me, but
we do purchase everything that she has fun with. So okay. What breed are your dogs and how did you come up with their names? I love her dogs' names.
Sweet. That's sweet. So we have 3 dogs, for those of you who don't know. We have Gracie, who is a pit bull lab mix. We have Toast, who's a husky. And then we have Truffle, who is he's a border collie blue heeler mix. And so, yeah.
Why did you name them after food?
Well, our goal originally was actually to have all dogs that had food names. that was the goal. But then when we got Gracie, it was like, you have to know Gracie, she can't be another.
You didn't name her.
No, we didn't name her. She was a rescue and it was that's Gracie. There was no other name.
I know that I shouldn't have a favorite for grandkid, but Gracie is my favorite.
She's your favorite.
She's my favorite.
She's everyone's favorite.
I just love her.
She's awesome. She's super sweet.
Okay, we're almost done. I know we're probably long on this video. What are your goals for the channel Reedhead Homestead? Love your content.
Oh, I don't know if I have this is my goal. It's not my goal to have a bunch of subscribers and to have all this. That is not my goal. My goal simply really was to just be able to share what I'm doing, because when we bought our house, we had already done a bunch of renovations and I was looking back on all those pictures and everything and just
wishing you had a video.
Yeah, I wish I had a video to go, oh my gosh, look at where we started, and
yes.
Look at where we were and just the season of that life that we were in. And so I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. And at first I was like, I'm only doing Instagram. That's all I'm doing.
Yes.
I was like, I'm not doing anything else. And then she's like, well, you should just do
that's how I act.
Yeah. You would just do, Facebook or something. Yes. I'm like, fine, I'll do Facebook. And I'm like, I'm not doing YouTube. You are not talking me into it. I said, YouTube is the big dogs. I was like, I'm not doing that. And then here we are. So she talked me into it.
Little by little, I was like,
I'm thankful.
Facebook, you might make YouTube. Yeah. So my next is, she's like, I'm never doing TikTok. And so I'm working on that one. I'm working on that one. Because I feel like she does all, if you follow her on Instagram, on Reedhead Homestead, I feel like she does TikToks already. She's already like kicking the camera, and then it comes back to everything all beautiful and done, and she's dancing on there. Like, I'm like, you're already making TikToks, so just have a TikTok.
No.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Okay, I think that's all of our questions.
Is that it?
I mean, there's a ton more. We could just talk for hours.
We could, especially if you get us two together.
Let me just talk forever.
Talk.
Anyway, so I did see some comments that were like, Kylie should do more like beauty things because her skin is so beautiful on her channel. And she was just saying that today. She's like, I really could just do some like makeup tricks. Or,
I know. I feel like one day we could be doing beauty, and then the next day we could be building. You know, like
I'm making a mantle and we're doing a makeup routine.
That's what we're doing. I love all things. I love all things beauty. I love all things DIY. I love decorating.
Everything.
I love it all.
She's so talented.
I love it. The spice to life. I love it.
I love it. So anyway, thank you so much for all your questions. We're going to end the video here before we just keep talking and talking. But again, thank you, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.